Hey, everybody. We're Nerded Up with the Nerded Up podcast. And we've actually got Stefan tonight, and we've got Brett back. Brett's second week.
Hey.
Brett, I want you to give your review of how you think week one went with just me and you on it.
It was all right.
That's a pretty.
Yep.
That's a good review.
Yep.
It wasn't
Killing
bad.
it.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was all right. I feel good. I feel good about that. Stefan, you're back. You're not doing D&D tonight. D&D got canceled. I'm excited.
Got canceled.
Yeah, I'm excited that we're doing this again. Although we're doing it without Carrie, so I just want to take a moment of silence again. Stefan didn't get to have a moment of silence or anything last time because Carrie's not doing it with us. So a moment of silence. Carrie, shut up. Okay, Carrie doesn't get a moment of silence. He didn't even get a moment to talk whenever he was actually on the show. That's how this works. We got some cool stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about the Google Stadia release, which is releasing on the 19th. And we could have talked about it next week, but I really wanted to dive into it and have enough time for people to listen to us diving into it and really think about what Google Stadia is going to be and if it's going to be a success. Is it going to be a failure well before it releases? This is one of those special occasions where, yes, we have swerved to be a predominantly video game show talking about video games and us just rambling about video games all the time. But we are going to talk about Disney Plus. It's one of those rare occasions where something's big enough. And Disney Plus releases in like a day and a half, right? It releases at midnight on the 12th. We're not going to talk about my mustache because both Stefan and my wife had told me that I look like a child molester, which is super rude, and I don't agree with that. Brett said he likes my mustache, so we're good there.
Yeah.
And then we'll dive into some game releases like The Outer Worlds, Modern Warfare, and I want to talk about. We don't have a review for Death Stranding because I don't think any one of the three of us has played Death Stranding. Is that correct?
Not.
No, but I've watched 3 hours of gameplay.
Okay. I want to dive into the reviews. I want to review the reviews of Death Stranding because it's real weird how these reviews are going. But I appreciate you guys watching. You can follow us on Twitter at NerdedUpPod. You can follow us on Facebook, especially Facebook.com/NerdedUpPod. And you can follow us Nerded Up on YouTube. YouTube and Facebook are the two biggest places where we want you to follow us. So go check us out, follow and subscribe on there. And of course, you're watching us on Twitch. Follow us here too because we'd like for you guys to watch us live. But Google Stadia is releasing on the 19th. And I guess I still have a really reserved excitement about Google Stadia. I have some concerns, obviously. I have a lot of concerns, not some. I have a ton of concerns, and I'm still not quite sure what game I get with it. That's I paid $130 for the pre-order, and I get like that sweet ass, really nice Roku player. I get a controller. I get 3 months of the service, but I don't know if I get any games to play with it. Oh, Stefan, you got so huge. Why
I know.
Dude, I swear Skype does not. Are we gonna change the name of the show? Brett suggests we change the name of the show to technical difficulties. Oh, now you got to small again.
I don't know what you do on your end of things.
It's not. I swear
to constantly fuck everything up.
I swear to God, I don't do anything. It just gets real weird for no reason.
I mean, that's probably the story of your life. But
I think it's a Skype thing. Really, honestly, you know what it is? I think it's I don't leave Skype up, and then Skype does weird things because I have.
Then you leave Skype up.
But I have Skype up right now, and now you're big again, and now Brett's doing weird things.
Okay, boomer.
Oh, hey, dude, don't you okay boomer me? Don't you okay boomer me? I am a millennial, sir. Wait, we're like the same age. You can't okay boomer me. I do nothing to make these things go big. Let me transition back into this. They just changed, and now you're small again. I can't fucking win. You know what? I'm perfectly fine with you being too small for the frame. We're just gonna see what happens. I haven't had any problems with Brett's camera. Just want to point that out. You and your oh now what the fuck is happening? Are you shitting me? You know what? Just fucking whatever. Let's just. It is. I set up voice activation. What in the fuck is going on? I don't understand why it does that. Okay, let's minimize. You know what? Let's try this. Alt tab.
Whatever you do, it's not gonna work. Just live with it.
No, it's
at
fine.
This point.
It's fine. I got this. It's fine. Y'all don't understand my technical. Fuck. Brett got big. Brett got real big. Okay, so Google Stadia. I'm just gonna talk and try to fix this as I talk. Google Stadia releases.
Sure, you can do
19th.
two things at once.
I have no idea what game comes with it. I think Destiny comes with it, but I'm not completely.
I thought it was Assassin's Creed.
Is it Assassin's Creed? Well, I think that pre-order bonus specifically came with Destiny as well. I need to look. I haven't gotten any emails since I pre-ordered the damn Stadia itself.
Well,
So
when's this coming out again? When is this supposed to be
the 19th,
available for?
a week from Tuesday. Yeah, and I've gotten 0 emails.
So when are you returning it? The 20th?
No, come on. I'm gonna give it more time than that. I'm thinking probably around the 25th. No, you know, we'll be out of town the 25th. So as soon as we get back from our vacation at Thanksgiving, that's whenever I'm gonna be returning it. But I have a reserved optimism about it. We just got new internet. I have the gig internet with Comcast now, but there are data caps, and I'm super worried about data caps. But Google Stadia, let's dive into that. Is it going to work, and why not?
Well, judging by how well you can operate cameras, I'm gonna go with no, Bob.
You know, it's I don't know why you have to be rude. It's not my okay. Whatever. Google Stadia, is it going to work? Stop talking about my cameras.
Brett, why don't you start?
I think it will work, but not the way they think it's going to at all. I know that predictive input is one of their major things that they're going to start pushing and talking about, and I just don't see how they can predict how gamers are going to play every scenario and all that. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it'll be good for people who like travel and everything like that. Like all you have to do is pack away a controller and you can take all your games with you basically. So it'll have like useful features, but it's not going to be like a mainstay console.
Well, I don't know. I think the predictive input can work fairly well, mainly because there's just not a whole lot of inputs that a player can do in most games. You know, you have directional inputs. Most of the time, they're going to be some sort of forward direction. You know, they can only fire in situations if there's an enemy dead center screen. Computer's going to be like, well, he's probably going to shoot at that. So, I mean, it's mainly based off of AI learning, and I don't know if maybe they have something along the lines of like an AI play the game beforehand to see what kind of inputs it would do. I fully believe that the programming aspect of things for Stadia will be solid, and it's in theory a good system. But again, as I said with our previous Stadia videos, I don't think the infrastructure is there for the common like for your average user.
Sure.
In some places it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work in most. And I think the delay is going to kill people.
Yeah, I think,
in real life.
I think the delay. so I downloaded the Xbox streaming beta preview alpha bullshit last night on my phone, and it's only available for Android phones right now. And if you have the invite to the xCloud beta. And so I was like, "Oh, cool, awesome! I'm gonna download that. I'm gonna play the Outer Worlds on my phone." And it wasn't too terrible. It wasn't as bad as on my old internet streaming to my laptop. But I will say that the input lag was noticeable, man. It just on my home network with gig internet on my really, really nice router. It was with my Xbox hardwired and then going wireless from my hardwired Xbox from the router to my phone. The input lag was noticeable, and I've said that all along. Like when we've talked about the delay, if they can't even get home network streaming right, how are they going to be able to get this right? And man, even if they have some AI robot simultaneously learning how to murder us all in our sleep one day and help us play video games better, I think there are going to be a lot of issues. This will end up being, I think Brett's right, it won't end up being a mainstay console for hardcore gamers. And it's not going to be a main platform for the hardcore gamers at all. But I think where I'm most interested to see how it does is like with my kids. I think my kids will be a good example of the market for Stadia. People that like to play games casually, that like to play single player games casually. Multiplayer is not going to work out. Anything competitive, like I'm not popping on Apex Legends or Modern Warfare on the Google Stadia because I already want to throw my PS4 controller through my monitor every time I play Modern Warfare right now anyway, which we'll dive into in a little bit. But like it's gonna be a fun alternative for people who don't want to drop a bunch of money on a console and want to maybe have some semblance, like 75%, 80% of the same enjoyable experience that they would have for a multitude of different games on the Stadia. So I'm interested to see how it plays with the larger general public. The infrastructure isn't there. The delay is going to be really annoying, but we're going to see. What I'm going to do, our first Nerded Up video on YouTube, and I've had this plan because, I've been trying to actually, before I say, I'm going to do videos on YouTube, and then I don't do them, I've actually been trying to, write down ideas and write down scripts for ideas for videos, and the first video I want to do is a Stadia unboxing. That way, if very quickly, a week or two later, I do a Stadia reboxing as I try to return the controller and the Roku player back to them because I don't like it. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm Google Stadia's cloud gaming service is coming November 19th. Everything you need to know. So this is the Founders Edition. It was only $130. But here's it has a confirmed games list. Stadia is not primarily a subscription service. The subscription only includes a single game as of today, Destiny 2. So they showcased it with, and I looked this up because I wanted to know what game I had. But they showcased it with Assassin's Creed. But Assassin's Creed isn't the single game; it's only Destiny 2, which is kind of cool. Maybe this will make me want to play Destiny 2 a little bit more, even though I'm still busy leveling in WoW Classic. I'm getting one level every 5 days at this point, which just sucks. But one day, whenever I finally
check your guild tag next time you get in.
You what?
You should check your guild tag next time you get in.
Oh God, I don't even want to know what it is. Which by the way, we're playing WoW Classic. I'm in love with the guild that we're in right now. I know I haven't been able to talk to them a lot, and I haven't been able to do MC and stuff like that, but they seem like a fun group of people. Also, concurrently with that, if my guild tag is if it's hurtful, then I'm gonna cry and I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna G quit.
They didn't do what I did. It's fine.
God! You know what? All I need is first MC raid. I just need to get loot, or I'm gonna G quit. That's what needs to happen. Isn't that how WoW Classic works? Anyway,
I mean, by the time you're 60, everyone else is gonna be geared, so it doesn't matter.
That's true.
You'll get all of the loot. They'll be like, have some rogue gear.
If you ask the forums about not getting loot in our guild, then yeah, I guess G quitting is the option.
Oh God!
We're only in the center of a small turmoil in the WoW forums.
And by small, you mean one of the largest turmoils in all of the WoW forums right now.
It got deleted.
Yeah, it did get deleted. It finally did get deleted because the guy kept trying to make new threads. What a piece of shit. Also, I hope he gets the help he needs. But when I finally hit 60 in WoW Classic, I'm going to play Destiny 2. And I do think bringing it back to Stadia, that Stadia will be a cool alternative. Because here's what happens. If you guys really honestly want to know what happens to me whenever I don't show up for shit or I don't get on games. My day is I get home. My son, I have to he either has baseball practice and I have to practice or I have to practice baseball with him because he really wants to get better and he's been super hyped about it. So I'm trying to get better with him. He actually asked me today if I would coach him in video games like Apex and Fortnite. I'm like, whoa, I can do that. But I don't know how much better you'll get, which I was excited about that. But anyway, I do practice with him, and then I have to help make dinner, and then I do dishes, and then I want to hang out with my wife. And so that's why WoW Classic's been the biggest thing for me, is because when we finally get to the point where we hang out and watch TV, I can put my laptop pad with my freaking laptop. I got the laptop fan, little tablet thing that I set my laptop on. It keeps my laptop cool. It keeps my wiener cool. We play WoW Classic, watch some TV. It's awesome. And then every once in a while, I'll hop on the Outer Worlds, which I've been playing a lot lately, and we'll dive into that. And I need to get back into Destiny 2 more, but I just don't have time for all these games and all the other crap that I have going on. But this might be a fun alternative to help me do that. Since I've got the Xbox up here, I've got the PS4 up here. Sometimes it's hard for me to play some of those games, play some of the console games I enjoy, because I don't want to be stuck up here in the office away from my family. And I really do think that's their market. It's for the moms and the dads and the kids that don't have a ton of time to play, and it's a really easy, quick solution for them. So that's enough on the Google Stadia. Unless you guys had something else you wanted to say on it real fast.
Nah.
No. Okay, awesome.
I don't think it's going to do what it's supposed to do. That's my thoughts on it.
We'll see. I mean, I don't think it will either, but I'm hopeful. I guess I said I had the guarded optimism. I guess I'm more reserved but hopeful is the better way to put it, because I'm hoping it's something good that I can enjoy and that my kids can enjoy without me needing to buy them their own Xbox, which is coming really, really soon because I'm tired of them playing on my One X. But anyway, actually releasing way sooner than Google Stadia in a day and a half, and we talked about this, is Disney Plus. And I want to talk about this. No, it's not video games, it's TV and it's movies, but I'm so freaking excited for Disney Plus. I already gave my family the choice, and no, they only have one choice. I gave my family the choice of either watching Newsies or Willow as soon as we get home on Tuesday, whenever with the release of Disney Plus. Those are their only two choices. They get to choose, and that's the movie that we're gonna watch. But like about a month ago, Disney Plus on Twitter had a whole thread of everything that's releasing on launch with Disney Plus, and it was literally just thousands. It was forever long, and I'm so excited with all the movies, all the TV shows, all the Halloween towns. It's going to be so incredible. And then not only that, but the originals that are coming out with Disney Plus, namely The Mandalorian, which is the one that I think I'm the most excited for. But like, we scoffed at Disney. I wouldn't say that we really scoffed at Disney Plus. We scoffed more at the inundation of streaming services as a whole. A while back, what was that? About a year and a half ago, Stefan, where when we first heard about Disney Plus, we were like, Jesus Christ, so many streaming services. And I was like, I don't know how this is going to work. I like the fact that I can bundle it with my Hulu and with my ESPN Plus makes it even better. I get all three of those for $12.99 a month. That's incredible to me. I like, this is going to be the best streaming service that we've ever had. It's going to be better than Netflix. It's going to be better than Hulu. I really don't know. I don't know a streaming service that's more worth the amount of money that you're going to pay than Disney Plus is. But what thoughts do you guys have on this?
I'd pick Willow.
You pick,
but my wife would pick Newsies for sure.
If I could watch both at the same time, I would.
Right. We should make a mixture of the two. Willow with small kids singing and dancing with crutches.
Willow X Newsies. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah. We're gonna do a mashup of the songs.
There you go. No, I'm really excited for Disney Plus. My kids will finally have all of the Disney shows they can possibly ever consume. I can introduce them to Halloween Town. I don't know how that's going to go. But,
it's going to be great.
Sure.
You can just let them watch Halloween Town and Halloween Town 2. You like, as long as they see the first one and Calabar's Revenge, you can just completely forget Halloween Town. Anything after that.
After that, fair enough. I don't know how many there are. Like,
I think there's like 4 or 5 at this point.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I'll stop at 2 then. But I'm optimistic about everything. I'm excited that I can get ESPN Plus with it and convince my wife that that's a valuable thing to have again, and it'll be great.
Well, you don't even need to convince her that ESPN Plus is the valuable thing. You could just be like, oh, well, but we get Hulu too, and I mean, right. Yeah, we'll have ESPN Plus. That's right. Whatever. That's just whatever that is. But we'll have Disney and Hulu.
I'm interested to see. Of course, it's going to do gangbusters on launch.
Yeah.
Right. Like, everyone's going to pick it up. Everyone's going to watch it for at least a bit. I'm interested in what the long term is, because I've already heard that the subscription dollar amount is like a massive loss for them right now, with what like infrastructure they've had to do and getting all the rights to everything like all settled. And they're saying it's not even the millions, that it might be in the billions of dollars lost.
Right.
So I'm curious how quickly the subscription ramps up. Like the people who have already pre-ordered the like multi-year at this price, whatever, they're going to be locked in. But I'm wondering, like, does next year do it? Does it jump up $1 already? Does it jump up a couple dollars? Like, I enjoy Disney, and I'm not against Disney as like a corporation, because a lot of people, that's like the thing now. Like, oh, Disney's ruining media, blah, blah, blah. With that, I argue I'm not very often taking a capitalist view on things, but if they're doing the best out of everyone, it might be because they're putting out things that people want to see. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
But they are a very money-hungry corporation. So I cannot see them operating at this big of a loss for a while. That also being said, I am crazy surprised by some of the stuff that's on there. I was a 90s late night Disney Channel viewer.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember watching like Davy Crockett, Man of the Wild Frontier.
Right.
And that's on there. And on top of that, some of their nature documentaries where they actively abused animals are on there as well.
Oh, I didn't know that they do that.
No.
I've never watched. I wasn't a big nature documentary guy whenever I was growing up. I'm still.
Well,
Right.
you know,
My
the
daughter
famous
is.
lemmings, like, you know, they'll see a lemming and they'll jump off the edge and everything like that.
Hmm.
Well, that's not true, but it sounded really good for a nature documentary. So Disney threw lemmings off of a mountain
Oh, oh no.
because the whole premise was like they knew lemmings died out in mass every year, but they didn't really know why.
Why?
Scientifically, we know it's just that there's a big population boom now. They eat all the food, and then a bunch of them starve off.
That's fucking.
That's
terrible.
what happens nowadays. Back then, they just threw them off of a
Back
mountain. and
then,
filmed it.
back then, yeah, just threw off the mountains.
So we got that to look forward to on Disney Plus. I'm
This-
surprised that was on there.
This is what terrifies me so much about this partnership that's coming up between Disney and Tencent. Imagine what they can do to the world when they combine their
Right.
powers. With Disney and Tencent combined, it's literally the beginning of the Galactic Empire and the end of life as we know it. Like, if we're talking about one dictator power that could take over the universe, it's Disney and Tencent together. Jesus
Sure.
Christ. And then, but see, the Tencent would beat them in a bag, and then Disney would throw them over a mountain. That's how that would work out. We'll talk
Fair.
about we'll talk about Chinese video games in just a minute. But I forgot about all the '90s movie or '90s TV series that were coming out until I read through that thread. The thing my kids are the most excited about, and I was really surprised by this, but man, I'm excited to watch it with them. The thing that they're most excited about is Darkwing Duck.
Nice.
Which
Yes.
is going to be coming back. I forgot about all those, like Chip and Dale's is going to be on there.
Rescue
Darkwing
Rangers.
Duck, Rescue. What is it? The Tailspin's going to be on there.
Tailspin. Nice.
Yep, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. Wait, was Gummy Bears Disney? I swear to God, I remember seeing Gummy Bears on
I
there.
think it's on there. I don't think it was originally
Oh,
Disney.
okay.
They
But I
probably
think it was
bought
on-
at some point.
Yeah.
We have all the seasons of The Simpsons. Well, and you know what? Gummy Bears might have been a Fox property, and maybe that's why
Yeah.
they have it on Disney Plus. But I didn't even think about the addition of Fox properties going on Disney Plus, which is why we have The Simpsons on there. That's
Yep.
freaking amazing. So yeah, I'm very excited about Disney Plus. It releases on Tuesday. I wish that we had signed up for the 2-year bundle whenever we had the chance, but we didn't because we were like, because you only had to pay. Like they had the 2-year bundle, plus my wife had like a coupon that she had gotten in the email to where the 2-year bundle was really only going to be 1 year, and we get it. It was like worth a total of 1 year of the fees, and then we get it for 2 years. But we didn't want to just pay because it was the bundle for the Hulu and ESPN Plus. It was going to be like $140 or something like that, or $150, and we didn't want to pay $150 right then. Now I wish we would have done it, especially thinking about fees going up, like Stefan was talking about. But I mean, if they're putting out good content and I get to sit there and enjoy all of the movies, I get to enjoy all the TV shows, and they're constantly coming out with good stuff, I don't mind if it goes up $1, $2, $3. I would imagine they're going to keep this price for at least a year. And that's what I've read and seen as people speculating that they won't increase the price for at least a year. And I think that'd be about right. And if they decide to go up $1 in a year, I'm okay with that. As long as they're not trying to charge me like fucking 20. Oh, I'm trying to not say bad words, guys. Dang it.
You're
Why
not
didn't
doing
you
well.
stop me? That's the first time I've said the F word,
Nope,
though.
it's not.
Have I said it more than that?
Yes.
Oh, no way. Oh, that sucks. I'm trying to make us more family friendly. I'm ruining it. I've got the pedophile stash. I'm saying the F word left and right, and I don't
Right.
even know it. I don't even know what I was talking about now. Oh, if the price hops up, I'm gonna be okay with it, unless it gets to the point to where like GameFly was trying to do, where they were charging people $25 to rent one game. As long as it doesn't go up that high, I'm fine with paying $15, $16 to get all three of those things, plus Disney Plus and all the content that they're putting out.
Right. I think the price hikes are going to depend on, I know NBC is coming out with their own streaming service, and then whatever Netflix does to try to combat this. And then if Amazon Prime ever steps their game up with shows and stuff like that.
Well, you see, the rumor about NBC now is that they're saying that they're talking about launching it completely free.
Ooh, that'd be interesting. How would they make money then? Just off of sponsorships?
Probably ads. That's about it.
They'd probably have ad, and then you could pay for ad free, but they could say they're coming out with a free streaming service.
How much would it cost to get a Nerded Up ad on the NBC streaming service? I'm going to twirl
more money than we've ever made.
I'm going to twirl my. Well, we've made like $7 total
as people
in the existence of like, Nerded Up. No, like Nerded Up has definitively made at least $7.
Yeah, who knows where that $7 actually is?
Well, that's the thing, and it never we quote made $7, but it never got put into any account like it was supposed to. And so, like, we've technically made $7.
Nothing.
Yeah, we've made it. It just
we made Facebook $7.
Right.
Someone has lost $7.
Yes. Yeah. Facebook lost $7 with all their fake viewers.
You know what though? If that's grounds for a lawsuit, like maybe it's more than $7 now.
Dude, we could sue them for $17.
Interesting.
We could at least double our money. I found out. So AMD just settled on a lawsuit from their FX series of processors, and I had an AMD FX 8650 or one of those, or 8250 or some shit like that. Dang it! I did it again. I'm just gonna stop. I said the S word. No S words here. But I was like, I was filling it. I saw that the suit was settled. I got an email about it. I'm like, I'm signing up for this because I got one of those. I thought it was only going to be like $5 or $10 that I get back. Guys, I'm going to whopping $35 back on that lawsuit. It's going to be awesome. That's like a whole dinner for my family. Or an old game. That's probably what I'm going to do is buy like a 2 or 3 year old game with it. Is what I'm thinking. Or I could just put it towards having somebody power it. Stefan, I will pay you that $35 for 2 hours of power leveling in WoW Classic.
Sure.
Okay, sweet. Awesome. It's a deal. I'll Venmo you the money.
We didn't set a goal, so I'm just going to leave it idle for 2 hours.
No, that's not... That's not what I want.
Power leveling.
That's power stealing my money like Facebook does. All right, so Disney Plus coming out in a couple of days. Very excited. Gonna watch Willow or Newsies. If they don't make a decision, I'm just gonna put it on Newsies and sing along to all the songs as loud as I can. And then I'll keep Stefan and Brett on Discord, so they have to listen to it too.
I'll be singing with you.
Oh yes, that's okay. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, moving on. So China did some things. China has created laws about children playing video games. Did you say nope?
Yep.
Oh, I thought you said nope. I'm like, well, they did. You did?
I'm the one that linked the thing.
No.
Why would I say no?
I don't know. I was so confused. Which we talked about this a little bit. I think it was Karen and I talked about it a little bit when it first came out. But when I first saw these laws, so the China sets laws for young gamers where they can only play for 90 minutes a day and they can't play past 10 p.m. And at first I was like, screw you, China. But then the more I thought about it, I'm kind of okay with it. And I kind of get it. Like, I don't love a government entity telling people what they can and can't do, but also, like, do kids really need to play more than 90 minutes? And do they really need to play after 10 p.m.? Like, my rules for my kids are more stringent than China's. So I don't know what that says about me, A. But B, it's like they get 30 minutes a day on weekdays. If they do their chores and do other stuff, they get an hour on weekends if they help out around the house and they earn it. And they definitely can't play past 10 p.m. because they're not even supposed to be awake past 10 p.m. Although Emery does sneak read in her room, or she'll go in her closet and turn the light on and read books till like 10:30 or 11. I've caught her a couple of times. But like, what am I supposed to do when I walk in on my daughter reading a book? I can't be like, what are you bettering yourself and your vocabulary by reading amazing science fiction novels? Don't do that. One day it's going to be drugs and boys. That's going to be way worse. Hopefully not.
You shouldn't have let her read that many books.
Yeah, that's the problem. The books were the gateway drug. But yeah, China setting these laws. Like, China does a lot of really bad stuff, right? Like, they do. They're terrible. But also, this is not that bad. And I think it's kind of needed, to be quite honest. And yeah, you can say, well, the parents should be the ones that are responsible and telling their kids not to play that much or not to play that late. But parents suck. Like, 95% of all parents are are 95% of all parents are terrible, and they're either afraid to discipline their kids, or they don't want to deal with their kids a lot of the time. And so they don't put those blocks. They're like, just go look. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. I just woke up. Go play your video games. And then it's like 7 o'clock at night, and they're like, oh, you're still alive? Go back and play more video games. Right. So I'm kind of okay with this. But Stefan, you go first on this one. Like, what do you think? What do you think about China making these laws for kids?
I'm curious on the ramifications of enforcement on this. Right. So, like, is it just, hey, parents, make sure the kids do this? Or do they actually have a way to enforce this through the computer? I know for a while that they have a setup now for like facial recognition and tying that to who's using the computer at the time.
Oh, that's not creepy at all.
They do that because they want to know if someone posts something on any website anywhere, they want to know who exactly it was, because China.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that.
China's the one that's trying to instill like a social rating system, right? Where it's
I think they already
have where it's like you can be denied access to like trains and flights if you're not as good of a person as other people or some crap like that.
Maybe Brett knows more about that. I've heard about it, and I thought it was already being instituted.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I do know that China's going to make people use their real names as their gamer tags.
Nice. Awesome.
I've looked into that, and they're going to have a unified ID system that they work with game companies with, so they know who's on and how old they are, and the game is going to restrict.
You get banned in the game, you get banned in real life.
Right.
So does that mean Carrie's Chinese, essentially? Like Carrie's as bad as the Chinese government because he made his gamer tag his name
So did you?
like 10 years ago. Yeah, but that was more of because Carrie did it, and I switched it. It's not that anymore. Thank you very much. But yeah, I feel like Carrie. So the whole idea behind the social rating system, the guy that came up with that system is actually American, and he moved to China and is trying to institute. I think they're instituting some of those things where it's like if you talk shit about, or if you talk crap about people, then you don't get to fly on a plane somewhere, or
right.
if you're a whore, then you don't get to have children. So like.
Well,
but if you're a good person, but like, look, if you're a good person and you're nice to people, then you get priority on matchmaking websites, which is good. That's a great perk to have if you're a good person. So the extremes are better matchmaking on Match.com or don't get to fly places. That's a little weird to me. But so I feel like Carrie is the same guy that instituted this social rating system where he actually is the one who advised China to go to real names. That way he can find all the Chinese kids that beat him at every game he plays because he's terrible.
Well, my problem is that like it's kids 18 and younger, and I was the younger kid in my school, like for my class, and so all my friends got driver's license and all that stuff before me. So like I have an August birthday, so I'd have to like sit there and play an hour and a half leveling my characters while my friends are out there playing for as long as they want, because they were 18, and I'd just be so angry at the government for that. That'd be my one point of contention. That's it.
I also the big one that we haven't mentioned is the limit on microtransactions. That's also
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
It's I think was as low as like some $20-something and maxing out at like $57 depending on your age, and that's not just for kids. That goes towards adults as well.
Yeah,
that goes towards adults too.
It did that one specifically.
That was an age thing.
No, the kids get to spend like $20-something. The adults get to spend $50-something, and they were basically worried about like economic flight. Like the money's just going to places that they don't control,
right? And
it's not going back into their economy. So they're like, nope, you're putting the money back in because we're making, we're limiting how much you can spend. Which, that's one thing for China. That's also a big thing for all the game companies that rely on so many microtransactions. And I've heard that they've known about this for a while because China discussed it with a lot of companies.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm wondering what the backlash is for kind of the rest of the world. Do microtransactions go up? Do they get more predatory? Like the company's going to try to make up their bottom line somewhere.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Man, I don't. Man, that look. I don't love microtransactions, but also if it's a free game and their microtransactions are reasonable, and I want to support them, and I want to give them money for cool skins, then I will buy as many Smite skins as I want to, and I don't want anybody telling me that I can't do it. Right?
Oh, I am going to clarify. It is a month.
It is
every
per
month.
So
yeah.
So per month you can only spend like let's say $50 or $60 per month. That's it, right? That's nuts. Like I wouldn't have been able to get any of the tier 5 Smite skins if that would have been the case. And like Apex, and if that were say that were instituted anywhere, nobody'd be able to do anything cool in Apex Legends because they have like an event that's 2 weeks long, and you got to buy 20 things that are worth like you got to spend essentially like $270, $280 to get the heirloom item that can be unlocked through the events that they have, which is absolutely insane. And people are like, stop being a freeloader and just buy it. And I'm saying, no, you're alienating your main fan base by doing that, and it's terrible. I'm having a real hard time not saying curse words. It's gotten real bad, man. It's this whole like pausing and censoring myself is not working well, but I'm getting better at it, and that's what matters. Yeah, I totally forgot about the microtransaction thing. That's nuts. Like I know a lot of people don't spend money on microtransactions, but I also don't want to be the person to tell somebody that they can't spend the $280 to get the Apex heirloom. Like if you want to do it, more power to you. And it continues to support a game that I enjoy playing and that they enjoy playing. So I think it's fine. But at the same time, I don't want to sound like a Chinese sympathist tonight, right? But at the same time, I kind of get it from the economic standpoint. I kind of get it from oh my God, they're putting all this money into other marketplaces that aren't ours. And so I don't like it, but I understand why the government would want to do it.
Oh, sure. I mean, you always understand the reasoning behind things. It doesn't make it good or okay. You know, I understand the reasoning behind most political ideologies and whatnot. It doesn't mean that they're good ones, but it's just going to be an interesting thing, especially when most games that involve microtransactions make most of their money off quote unquote whales on people who spend the most money. And I don't know any of the analytics on like how many whales are, come from China and from other parts of the world. But there's got to be some percentage that comes from China.
Right.
And now that percentage is going to go down.
Yeah, their gaming population is like 300 million people. So
right. So
probably a little less than that, but somewhere around there, I think.
Yeah, so if it's 300 million people and you take 10% of that as whales, that's a massive amount of money.
It is.
That's absolutely insane. Well, that's a massive amount of money that man. It's kind of a double-edged sword almost, where it's like they want to control it and keep the money in their economy, but at the same time they're limiting the amount of money that could go into their economy if those guys that are playing games are playing Chinese games. Now there's not a lot of great Chinese games out there, so that's a bad point.
But I mean, Tencent owns
a lot. So yeah, that's true.
A lot.
Yeah.
Like,
how is Tencent okay with this?
Because they already had their own restrictions. China told them that they needed to, and so they've had restrictions that aren't this bad, but they've already had restrictions for kids playing Tencent games in China.
And I guarantee you they work hand in hand with the government.
Yeah.
Pretty much any Chinese corporation has to.
Jesus. Well,
yeah.
I don't know how. I like if for me, if I were a business, I wouldn't want to restrict the amount of money people can spend. To me, that seems really, really stupid. But the one thing we do know is that children and the people of China are not restricted from watching Nerded Up after 10 p.m. So they can watch us whenever we're on. I'm just saying. Although they probably
when are we going to start translating? When are we getting the localization team on board?
I already know some Chinese. Megwaren ma. That's it. That's all. That's the whole thing.
That's all you know.
Do you speak English? Yeah. And I think that actually literally translates to do you speak American? Or are you American? I don't know. It means like I just know Megwaren is American, and I don't know what Ma is. It might be what American. I might have said that. I'm not completely sure.
so effectively, you speak nothing.
Yeah.
Not even one complete sentence.
That's fair. Yeah, a real broken like a broken sentence that a 2-year-old would speak. essentially is what I can do. But that's better than nothing. I'm just saying.
So you can get a native speaker to laugh at you. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's your stand-up
much.
comedy routine when you get to like Beijing. Got it.
Oh, I'm not going to do stand-up comedy in Beijing. They'll immediately have me arrested because I won't be able to stop saying the word fuck.
I feel like that word over there, right? Like the Asian countries love the word fuck.
Yeah, I don't feel like they would like it very much. I don't think they want some big fat white guy from Texas coming from the United States and just yelling fuck at everybody. I feel like they'd be terrified, and so they'd lock me up.
Using the F word has got off the rails.
Yeah,
by a good bit.
It was relevant to the conversation at the time, Brett, and so it needed to be said multiple times.
Right.
All right, moving into our final topic of the night, because we're really, really trying hard to keep these bitches under an hour, and I'm not going to fail at it. Last week was a little over 30 minutes. We did a good job, and we're at 40 minutes now, and this isn't going to take super long. It might. I don't know. But number one, Death Stranding reviews. I'm very confused by them. Because almost every review, I don't know what this game's about. I don't think even the people that are playing it don't even know what it's about.
Yeah, you're a UPS guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a single father,
Right.
and you're trying to save the world.
Right. Are you UPSing babies?
Yes. No.
So-
The
No.
baby's just there to detect ghosts.
Oh,
Yes.
cool. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
I was
BBY,
accepting
baby.
Good.
BBY. Yeah.
It's
Okay. BBY.
So the ghosts are actually like, as I said, I watched like 3 hours of this game.
Yeah.
And the gist of the game is it's more of an experience. The best quote that I've had comes from Kotaku, Tim Rogers. He called it the Gran Turismo of walking simulators.
Right.
Like it is the best walking simulator with the most details that you could ever do. Like when you're walking, you actually have to like tug on your backpack straps to like even out your weight. If you're leaning too much to a side, make sure you bring extra shoes, because if your shoes break, like you're going to start like ripping up the bottom of your feet, and you could die to blood loss from just ripped up feet.
Look.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
You have to use left and right trigger to control your stability, and also hold your thumbstick the right way. I've seen so many videos of people just falling down mountains,
and all their stuff just comes off their backpack.
It's hilarious. Like
when you're going out for an adventure, like you have to load your pack a certain way so to like distribute your weight evenly, and maybe you want to like lean more to the side so you can like make quicker turns and stuff like that. It's obnoxious, but it's also Hideo Kojima, which makes perfect sense because he doesn't really make games.
No.
He makes whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Experiences?
Sure, we'll go with experience.
Events?
It's got some really cool ideas, like when you connect. The premise is what Brett was saying. You're a delivery guy, and you deliver things around.
It's like DoorDash.
There's ghosts for some reason. I know they're plot relevant at some point. But you're trying to connect and rebuild America in this post-apocalyptic idea. And you can, once you connect like pieces of the map to like this network node, it takes the game online, and you're put in a shard with a bunch of other people. And anything that they've left behind tool-wise is now in your world. And you can also, and anything you built and they built, it gets placed there. And you guys can kind of work off of each other to get around and build things quicker. So the game really pushes like, oh, leave this ladder here for someone because it'll help them get across, or leave these like climbing stakes placed around so people can just move around quicker. So it's a neat idea. It kind of reminds me of some other games that try to do that, like Journey did something similar back in the PS3 days with like helping people figure out paths and whatnot. Dark Souls, of course, leaving messages for people. And there is like some gunplay and stuff. You do eventually get some guns. And
I was about to ask, is there any combat in this?
There is combat, and there's some vehicles and whatnot.
And stuff. Punch and kick.
Oh, look, I get it's Hideo Kojima, and I understand he makes experiences, right? But the first review I saw from this thing was, is Death Stranding even a video game? Because it's predominantly cinematics more than anything else. And all the reviews that I've read are all like, we don't know what this game is. We never knew what we were doing. Everything's a little bit weird. It's all a little bit too detailed and too much. But I'm giving it a 99. It's the best game ever. And I'm like,
Right.
everything that they had to say was negative about the game. And then they're like, it's almost like if I walked up and I was like, this game is the worst thing I've ever played. It's terrible. I can't stand it, but I give it a 9.7 because it's so wonderful. I feel like
Right.
it's just getting the Kojima treatment, and it looks pretty.
Oh yeah,
But
and it's got a good soundtrack.
Oh, it does. I've heard a lot of good things.
I've heard
about
it's the
music.
best $60 soundtrack around.
That's pretty good. We're gonna put together a list. I'm gonna find a list and make a meme list of the best soundtracks of all time, and just throw Death Stranding in the mix. It's gonna be like Aladdin, Emperor's New Groove, the Newsies, and then Death Stranding.
Yeah, it's got Churches, The Neighborhood, Flora Cash, Missio. Like,
Nice.
it's got like major names on it. You're just like, okay.
Are either of y'all gonna play this game?
Maybe. Hard maybe.
Yeah, it's a maybe. Like maybe a Black Friday sale.
Yeah,
Like I'd pick
next
it up
year.
at $30 just to experience it.
Ultra
just be like-
bundle and stuff for it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I'll somehow work my way into playing it at some point in time. I'm not gonna seek it out. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be like,
But-
hey, I really want to play this. Because I think it probably does fall into the category of not a game, and we've had games like that before with pretty much anything by not Quantic Dream. Is it Quantic Dream? Whoever did like Heavy Rain and Detroit,
Oh yeah, Detroit Become Human. Yeah.
Beyond Two Souls,
Yeah.
all those style of games that are more of like just a story with some
Oh,
cutscenes,
those aren't games, man. Those are interactive stories.
and that's what I'm calling Death Stranding right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Look, here's what's gonna happen. If I don't disappear and stop being consistent with this show, then 2 years from today, no, we'll say 1 year. 1 year from today, when we're recording, I will give my official Death Stranding review after I buy it for $15 on a sale. That's what we're gonna do, because that's the only way I'm gonna play this is so like today I had a Kinja deal pop up on Twitter for Kingdom Hearts 3, and I got it for the PS4 for the kids for $13, which is
Why?
just an incredible, because they're gonna enjoy playing it. I'm not gonna play
Sure.
it, but like a year from now, if I get a Kinja deals notification on Twitter, it's like Death Stranding PS4, $17, then maybe I'll shell out the dough to play the game. Preferably what I'll do is I'll look for some idiot that I know that bought it, and then I'll just borrow it from them and play it that way. Yeah. We'll start talking about games that we actually have played. I'll start with this one because I'm the only one that's, well, no, Brett, you played it too. Did you buy Modern Warfare?
I did not buy it.
Okay.
I played the beta.
But you played the beta. So that's,
Yep.
it's they didn't fix anything. They didn't change
Perfect.
anything since the beta, so you
Right.
can at least speak about this. So we'll talk about Modern Warfare real fast, and then Stefan can just say, "I told you so. I told you so. Duh, you should have known this the entire time." But
Right.
Modern Warfare isn't. I will say this: it isn't terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. It's not as bad as Advanced Warfare. It's not as there's no double jumping. There's no flying around. Everything's pretty realistic, pretty visceral. I like the way the camera works sometimes. The one thing they did fix is the audio is definitely better, but it's not a terrible game. It's great for search and destroy. They have this new game mode called Cyber Attack that I really, really like, where it's essentially search and destroy, but you can revive down teammates, which is pretty cool. And if you play it tactically and you play the objective, you can actually dominate some people. It is absolutely god awful for respawn game modes. I can't even begin to explain how bad it is for respawn game modes. So this game was developed for esports. It was developed for competitive play. That's the only way I can explain it, because they wanted cyber attack and they wanted search and destroy because they want to be able to compete with the likes of CS:GO, which they'll never be able to do, but they wanted to try to be able to do that.
Right.
Team deathmatch and domination are awful. The map design is just so atrocious for a respawn map. It's great for two teams that are starting on either sides of the map, and when you die, you don't come back. But if you have to respawn somewhere, I can't even. The times I've wanted to throw my controller more than anything are when I respawn to a guy looking right at me and shooting me in the damn head.
Right. Yep.
And it makes no sense whatsoever. So it's not terrible, but it's not great. So I've actually enjoyed Search and Destroy on it. I've enjoyed Cyber Attack. The game mode I think I have the most fun on is Ground War.
Right.
Ground War is a lot of fun, and only if you decide to snipe. Like,
right. That's my bread and butter. That's why I love that game mode, but it wasn't worth it to buy it for that game mode to me.
Right. No.
Like, I was just like, I like this game mode, but like,
it absolutely wasn't. I definitely have buyer's remorse. I'm not going to lie. They made sniping really, really fun. Like, sniping is more fun than it has been in a really long time. And people like, there's a lot of people complaining about snipers and sniping because they're like, well, they just turned snipers into campers. They just made it to where, like, if you have a sniper rifle, you're just gonna camp and you're just gonna hard scope everything. I'm like, oh, you mean like what snipers fucking do, you morons? Like, that's the whole thing about being a sniper. You wait for people to run in front of where you're gonna be, and then you shoot them without them ever having known that you were there.
You sit as still as possible, and you just wait for someone to walk in front of your gun.
Yeah. It's like there's quick scoping is almost completely dead. There are still some people that can do it with the right scopes, but it's really, really difficult. But sniping is so much fun in Ground War, and just playing that sniper game, I don't care about the objectives. I don't care if my team wins or loses. It's the Battlefield feel all over again. And sniping is more fun in this than it is in Battlefield. The guns feel really good. The mechanics of the guns feel good. The sound effects of the guns feel good. Hitting people, it feels really substantial. But the guns aren't balanced yet again. And this is one of those moments where Stefan can say, you should have known. Obviously, they weren't ever going to be balanced. And angles. I don't know if you guys have seen the videos of this, but angles are all sorts of jacked up. The Golden Boy actually tweeted out a video that somebody showed of they went into a match with one of their friends, and a guy was hiding behind a corner of a wall, and then another guy was beyond that, and the guy hiding behind the corner of the wall couldn't see the guy that was in the open, but the guy that was in the open could see the full body of the guy hiding behind the wall. So one guy can't see one person at all, and the other guy can fully see him, and they're looking at each other at the same angle behind the same wall, and it's so jacked up, which that's kind of gotten me a little bit pissed as well. But it's a terrible game, or it's not a terrible game. Oh, Freudian slip.
Terrible game.
It's not a terrible game. It's not great either. I have a little buyer's remorse. I'll still play it here and there for like a fun palate cleanser whenever I just want to get into some quick things and I want to shoot people's faces off for a little bit. Crossplay is a lot of fun. I do love the fact that it's fully crossplay and I can hop into the game with anybody on any platform that I want. Because a lot of the people that like a lot of people at work, almost everybody at work plays on PC. Brett plays on PC, and I want to be able to play on my console like a console plebe and enjoy my time and not have to play on PC because I suck with the mouse. But that's my Modern Warfare review. I don't know what any of you guys think. If you guys like it, if you don't like it, let me know. Call of Duty Mobile is better than Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I will say that right now, definitively, especially once they allow controller support. But a game that I have been playing a lot more of. And the story mode's really fun on Modern Warfare. I do like the story mode, which I haven't had fun with a Call of Duty story in a really long time. But a game that I am playing right now that I finally have taken the opportunity to play more of lately, and I think I'm not really far into it. I'm about 8 hours into it, but that's the Outer Worlds. This might be the most fun I've had playing a game in a really, really long time. I haven't really played a whole lot of single player RPG games in a really long time because I just want to play multiplayer games. I want to have that competitive feel. I want to have that community feel. And there haven't been a lot of games that I've started playing, like Red Dead 2. Started playing it, didn't keep playing it for a super long time. I'm trying to think. The Assassin's Creed game, it was fun. Never finished it. Like, there's a lot of games that they were okay, they were cool, but they just didn't really suck me in, and I ended up going back to other games instead. The Outer Worlds makes me not want to play any other game. The only reason I haven't been playing it exclusively is because I've been forcing myself whenever I have the chance to get on WoW Classic, and even then it's kind of difficult. But from the voiceovers to the writing to the story to the combat mechanics, and Stefan, you can talk a little bit more on this because you have more experience with the game itself. I'm just having so much fun with this game. It's just like, it's the best. It's not really a shut your brain off and play type of game, but it's the best. It's the best. Like, I just want to have a really fun time and have fun with some fun characters and shoot people with cool guns type of game.
I mean, it's at the end of the day, it is made by Obsidian, who did Fallout New Vegas, and at the core of the game, it is just Fallout in space. But it does go back to the New Vegas feel, where things are kind of a little bit more goofy, a little bit more tongue in cheek. The experiences with NPCs is like one of the early towns that you go to, which is like just a space station. There's a vendor that's wearing like a moon mascot helmet, and he's just got like crazy depression, and you could like almost talk him into like the brink of suicide, but he like stops himself because he went through 6 years of vendor school to work there. And I love the premise of like corporations. It's a very classic sci-fi premise of like corporations have taken everything over.
Yeah.
But I love the tongue-in-cheek extreme that they've gone to, where like greetings are corporation sayings of who you work for. Suicide would be considered destruction of company property. Like it's a real interesting and fun take on the game. Combat's great. You know, you run around, you shoot things, melee things. The skill point system, very reminiscent of if you've played any of like the Skyrims, the Fallouts, you know, and the Skyrims, I should say, the Elder Scrolls. But it's just a very fun, enjoyable game. It's not particularly hard in any way that I've noticed, but it throws loot at you. It throws fun decisions at you. The only thing I'd say is that the party members that you can get kind of aren't great. Like, they don't have very great stories to them or anything.
No, the interactions aren't the best. I actually went into the perk where like it's essentially the lone wolf perk from Fallout, where you just you're better if you don't have party members. So I prefer that in Fallout 2 for the most part. So I went that way too. The one thing I think might be my favorite aspect is the fault system. I don't know. Does your character have any faults yet, Stefan?
I've been offered like 15 faults, and every single one of them have sounded horrendous. And so I've turned down all of them. Yeah,
so the fault system is where if you're really bad in a specific aspect of the game, you get offered a fault, and that's just is it permanent, or is it like a semi it's like a semi-permanent
thing.
Okay, so it's permanent. It's a fully permanent fault that your character has. And you would think,
but it's not necessarily something that you're bad at. It's something that you've encountered a bunch of.
Yeah.
So for me, like, I tend to jump off of things and just take minimal fall damage, because like healing items are crazy plentiful in this game. And so eventually it was like, hey, here's a fault available for you. Whatever the phobia is, where you're afraid of heights. But that they're like, yeah, if you're afraid of heights, you'll get this one perk point, but we'll reduce all these other stats.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, this sounds awful. And I've been offered the same thing with like being afraid of robots, because I fought a bunch of robots, being afraid of aliens, because I've fought a bunch of aliens. Haven't been offered like the drug addiction one, because I really don't take the drugs. I've been offered eating a lot of food, and I just thought that was rude of them.
So, our friend Mackie did take the drug addiction fault, so he is a drug addict. His character is addicted to drugs, which is pretty hilarious. But I thought that was like I guess Fallout kind of has that in a way, but I like the Outer Worlds twist on it. Where it's you don't just automatically become addicted or something like that. It just offers you this, and then you have like your character changes based off of what fault you have. But I think it's a fun game. It's definitely to me, the Outer Worlds is one of those games where like if we had to give it, maybe we'll actually come up with like a nerded up rating system when we start doing review videos of games. If some of these things that I have planned work out, where we get early copies of games, but it's one of those games where you give it like a 7.9 to an 8.5, where it's not the best game in the world. It's definitely not terrible, and it's good enough to steal your time away. And you could think, does anybody know? Oh, you get big at the very end of what we're doing. Your camera gets big again. Are you freaking shitting me? It's one of those games where you can see.
Well, yes, you did something.
I know. I don't know how it just switched. I didn't do a damn thing. You could sink a lot of time into it by doing side quests and just by exploring and things like that. Has anybody said how long? Do we know how long the actual story mode is? Like how many hours you have to play through to get through the actual story mode? Because I
know the speed run's 30 minutes.
The speed run is 30 minutes. How in the hell did they do 30 minutes?
You lower your intellect as far down as you can, and your character's speech options are basically like so everyone talks to you really fucking fast, and you just go.
I didn't fucking.
It's perfect.
I didn't know that at all.
I saw that someone went all the way through the game without killing anyone themselves. Like they called it the pacifist run or whatever. But like he had other people kind of kill people for him, so it's not really pacifism. But yeah.
I really wanted to start a stupid character now, just so that I could see that as my options. It's be pretty in line with who I am in real life, so it'd be good.
I think I saw some options where it's like someone went like max engineering and like no intelligence, and people are like baffled on how you fix things, and like your characters' response are like hammer good.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Is there a fault where your character will just continuously cuss and then like try not to, and then
oh wow, okay, thank you. That's wow. On that note, we've been going for an hour and 5 minutes, but I'm gonna consider it about an hour because we were on the stream starting soon screen. Well, we were on the your name stream starting soon screen, and then the Nerded Up stream starting soon screen for about like 5 minutes. But anyway, thank you so much for watching us, everybody. Go follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/nerdedup. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/nerdeduppod. That's by far our biggest community, and we love our Facebook community so much. They're the ones that have grown us to what we are now, and we hope to continue to grow and foster on a multitude of different platforms. You can follow us at NerdedUpPod on Twitter, and obviously you're watching us on Twitch right now. Go ahead and follow this page. Share it out. Tell everybody about us. Follow, like, and subscribe. I'm going to say it because Stefan hates it. Smash that like button. Thank you so much for watching us, guys, and we will be back next week, probably on Sunday, because it's my son's last week of baseball, and then hopefully after that I won't be thrown for a loop on every Friday afternoon, and we can actually start doing these on Saturdays. But thank you so much, guys. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.